Testing, 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 testing. Barton Park is the scene for this round 29 NPL Men's New South Wales Clash. It's the penultimate round. We've got a massive... Oh, yeah. That's awful, yeah. I hate it. Guys, is that St. George? Leo, is that St. George? Sure. Is it?
Yeah, I saw him set up.
For first grade?
No, he set up on...
Peter will know. Peter. Joe. Joe.
He's kidnapping us, bro. He's kidnapping us.
Joe. Is that our VO? I think it's
It's a Mariners.
Coast,
Yeah, it's a Mariners.
James, I'm going to go with Joy.
Is it in your way? Get it out.
James, I'm going to go.
Where would you want him to set it up?
Settle down, stay in your line. Whoever grabs you, whoever you get, you get. I mean, you can't really... Hey, settle down. Hey, settle down. Don't make... Boys, Harrison, settle down. Don't be disruptive. I'll change you. Yeah? Yes?
You can get the feed anyway, you know.
He's my best friend.
Hey, make sure you rev them up.
Make a tunnel. I don't want the tunnel going over into this part, so you've got to make sure you... You wind it up now. Right? Hey, get back a bit. Hey, boys.
Hey, John. You guys got to sit over that way. You guys got to sit there.
Right? I don't want the tunnel going past this grandstand. I don't want anyone being here doing these ones. Alright? You'll be out, everyone will get to see them as they walk out. Right? And the minute it's all over, the minute they all walk out, rush back to the gate, go to the grandstand. Alright?
Walk to do it.
No way you do that. I swear to God, tell me what. What did you do? What I do? I'm in the set. I'm going to shut the shower. Oh, you're gay. Tell me. No, I didn't. I said
than one. The dressing room. Dressing
Let
room's
him
tiny.
breathe. Let him breathe.
Very narrow. Look under here. Dad tells me stories every. I could have built it out. But amazing facility. But still, could have done it better.
Thanks for coming, lads.
Move right up against the wall.
Daniel, how's it going? Did you win today? Yeah, Central Coast Grammar. He's win today? How much? 2-1. 10-1. Bloody yeah, I know. My young fella, they beat him 5-0 last week. They were terrible. But yeah, my young fella won today. 3-2. So you guys are playing them. Yeah, Oakfield. Yeah, good luck. If you don't get on, but I'll see you next week anyway. All right, mate. We'll see you next week. I think V has been locked in.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
So our first, seconds, 14s and 13s all went through today.
Oh, yeah,
So
nice
that's
one.
good. Yeah.
Nice one. All right. Oh, what a spot. I love it.
Move under a bit already. You guys are coming in where I told you not to come in. I don't want anyone passing
You give me the thumbs up, Phil. Good evening, everybody. Tony Tanous in commentary with you from Barton Park for the penultimate round of NPL Men's New South Wales. And our match of the round is an absolute crucial one at the foot of the table. St. George FC up against the Central Coast Mariners. Yes, these teams come into this sitting in 12th and 13th spot respectively, just outside the bottom two at the moment. So the importance of this one, particularly in the context of the Sutherland Sharks dropping points earlier on this afternoon, is critical. A win today could just about seal their passage into season 2025. And St. George FC, they're looking to stay up and not bounce back down to the second tier. They've had a good run of form with 2 wins from their last 2 matches under their new coach in Steve Karavatakis. So plenty of confidence for the home side. They're back here for only the second time at Barton Park, their new home, after the opening back in May against Sydney Olympic. They're delighted to be back home. It is a phenomenal facility, and it's a pleasure to have your company. The Central Coast Mariners, they are coming into this on the back of some terrific recent form. Only 1 loss in their last 6 matches, and that was courtesy of a blunder as far as the administration of players was concerned. They had to forfeit a game against St. George City after they fielded an ineligible player a couple of weeks ago. But their form around that has been phenomenal. 4 wins across the past month and a half. So plenty of confidence for Lucas Valela's side. And they make 2 changes from the side that had that terrific comeback victory against the Wollongong Wolves last week. Coming in is keeper Dylan Pereira-Cullen, along with Jordan Small. The full lineup for them, Dylan Pereira-Cullen between the sticks. The back 4, captain Sasha Kusevski, Rocco Smith, Parker Williams and Henry Menem. The holding midfielders are Lucas Shikluna and Jordan Small. In the wide attacking areas, Donny Nyonkuru and Arthur DeLima. The hot to trot Arthur DeLima, coming off a hat-trick last week. And up front, Bailey Brantman alongside Nico Duarte. That's the Central Coast Mariners side. The home side, no changes to the side that had a thumping 3-0 victory over Sydney Olympic last week. We will take you through the full lineup for St. George, but it is the Central Coast Mariners kicking us off, running from left to right in their traditional yellow and navy blue. And it will be Pariah Cullen who goes forward early. Such an important game. These two teams coming in separated by only 1 point. St. George in 12th spot on 29 points. And Central Coast Mariners only a point behind them. 28 and 13th spot. And they'll both be, no doubt, aware of the result down the road at Sutherland. Seymour Shore, where the Sharks have suffered another loss. And that keeps them just outside the drop zone for now. Sharks losing to St. George's local rivals in St. George City. A 1-0 victory to Mirko Uril's side. So some big results around this afternoon as far as the bottom of the table's concerned. Apia in action against Hills United. That match still in progress, but Apia with a 4-0 lead at the moment against Hills. Hills currently sitting in bottom spot on 24 points. Just above them, Sydney FC on 26. Those two teams currently sit in the danger zone. Sutherland Sharks are only ahead of Sydney FC by virtue of goal difference. Also on 26 points. So plenty to play for. And then these two just above that drop zone, along with Manly United, who are equal with St. George FC on 29 points. So plenty still to play for in round 29. And then next week, the final round, as the Mariners come forward down the left-hand side. Some good positive signs early on there. Got plenty of confidence, as I said. They got Kusevski out on this near side along with Nyonkuru. Here is Danaskos looking to clear long over the head of St. George's striker. And I will take you through St. George's lineup. Mackenzie Siren is the keeper for them. The back four of Nicholas Kalajeru, Thomas Brown, Pat O'Shea and Troy Danaskos. The midfield trio, Harry Jones with the experience at the base. And then in front of him, Evan Suris and Connor Quilligan. And then it's a couple of new faces in the forward line. A couple of transfer window recruitments. Jaden Casella on the right-hand side. Chan Yelchan leading the line in the number 9 role. And on the left-hand side, Justin Poon. Just over his head. And it finds Neon Kuru. He can go at the St. George skipper. And there's Poon working back. O'Shea can clear. O'Shea, who has featured large parts of the season at the base of the midfield. He's moved in recent weeks to shore up that defence, which has seen a marked improvement for St. George FC. They get it out to the left-hand side. Harry Menem getting forward, and he's got Duarte available. Duarte looking to turn. Pass small, and it's Parker Williams. He's alongside Rocco Smith, who carries the ball forward. Smith wins it back after his pass didn't quite make it into the front third. Neon Kuru with a good idea, trying to chest it down. They keep the pressure on with small feeding Kusevski. The skipper for the Central Coast Mariners. We saw them featured a couple of weeks ago in our match of the round. Not too far away over at Seymour Shore, where they scored that dramatic injury time winner from the penalty spot with Lucas Shikluna stepping up after Jai Rose had been upended in the box. Some big controversial moments late on in the season, and the news ahead of that match the prior week when they played against St. George City. They fielded an ineligible player. Michael Parangali, who came off the bench in the first grade after earning his 5th yellow card in the under-20s match. It was a first grade match which ended level, but they ended up losing their 3 points during the week. That result was turned into a 3-0 to St. George City, so the Mariners, their response since then has been terrific. That win against the Sharks late on, and then that come from behind. They were 2-0 down to the Wollongong Wolves last week, and an Arthur DeLima hat-trick as Yelchan looks to slide it in down that far side. Casella was the target, cut out by Harry Menem. Yelchan has been a real focal point in the attack since coming in during the transfer window from Armidale in the WA NPL scene. Here he is putting himself about up against Williams and then trying to put the pressure on Menem. And he's done well to win St. George a throw-in high up on that far side. But what about the drama last week? Arthur DeLima's hat-trick, getting one back just before half-time and then a double in the second half. And that was a terrific turnaround from Lucas Valela's youngsters. They have been in sparkling form. 4 wins from their last 6 matches. And just that one loss which came courtesy of that forfeit result. Here's Yelchan, holding the play up well, though his pass is cut out by Brantman, who's playing in the front 2 today alongside Nico Duarte. Player familiar to those of you who follow the A-League scene. Burst into the NPL scene a few seasons ago. I was behind the mic when he made his debut. You could see the talent as a 16-year-old, and he's really taken his opportunities, Brantman, over the last couple of seasons. Seen him drop a little bit deeper at various times this season. Playing in that attacking role today. Him and Duarte charged with the responsibility to try and link it up with Neon Kuru on the right and Arthur DeLima on the left-hand side. Here is DeLima just dropping into the pockets. The Central Coast Mariners system, which is the 2-2 formation with the 2 wide attackers that love to drop in behind the strikers to give him that attacking edge. Just in behind the front 2, he's the skipper in Kozeski, driving forward, looking to link up with Shikluna. Neon Kuru out on this near side. Suris was looking for a teammate, but it's fallen to Duarte, and it was an important recovery. And here is Yelchan. A great ball out, and he looks to go directly at Rocco Smith and use his body. That was good defending. The referee and Stephen Lucas, an experienced match official. St. George fans here, and it's a good crowd at their new home, Barton Park. Only their second home fixture here. Here is Yelchan, just the judge have been doing a bit of pushing. That's going to be a great battle. Yelchan already, we've seen him up against Rocco Smith. He's going to be a real physical presence. He's done everything right so far for his new club. One thing missing so far is the goals. And speaking to Steve Karavatakis ahead of the match, he's hoping that's not too far away. Feels that he probably deserves a couple for all his good teamwork. 21-year-old, really looking to make a name for himself in the NPL New South Wales.
one of a couple of players that have made the move across from Western Australia in this St. George squad. Thomas Brown, the central defender. The right centre-back, he's another former player out of the Western Australian system. Kozewski looking down the line for Neon Kuru. Danaskos, who is such an important player for the home side St. George. The former National Soccer League Giants, formerly St. George Budapest, of course. Danaskos, a key figure, not only defensively, from his position at left back, he's their top scorer. Hard to believe, but sitting on 6 goals, heading into this penultimate round, he is their top scorer. And he's popped up with a couple of goals just in the last 3 weeks. Scored last week from a set piece in that 3-0 victory over Olympic. He scored 2 weeks prior to that in an important 3-2 victory over Hills United as Smith clears. Here is Duarte looking to hold it up for the Mariners. Hope you're enjoying wherever you're watching. Tony Tanous with you, live from Barton Park. It's nice and loud here in the grandstand. We've got a great vantage point, sitting just over the players' tunnel. Coverage coming to you courtesy of our sportscast crew here at Barton Park, here at every game in the NPL men's top flight, as well as the women's top tier of New South Wales. Add to that, match of the round in the second tier, the Football New South Wales League One. And it's a smorgasbord of football on the Football New South Wales YouTube channel. And there's a massive game as well taking place in the Football New South Wales League One. I'll keep you posted on that. Top of the table, Mount Druitt Town Rangers up against second place, MacArthur Bulls Academy. Those teams separated by 3 points. Of course, the winner will be promoted to the NPL season 2025, the winner of the competition, first past the post. And the second place team in Football New South Wales League One, currently the Bulls Academy. They will be taking on the team that finishes second from bottom in the NPL Men's New South Wales. And at the moment, that is Sydney FC, who have their round 29 match to come on Monday night as Justin Poon goes forward down the left-hand side. Getting around him is Danaskos. He goes instead to Connor Quilligan, last year's player of the season in Football New South Wales League One. Nice build-up here. Danaskos across. But he can only pick out his opposite, the left back for the Mariners in Harry Menem. Now he looks to link it up with the man that's all the rage at the moment, one of the hottest properties around the NPL in Arthur Zalima. Coming into this, 6 goals in his last 6 games. Scored some massive goals in some big games for the Mariners in recent time. Here's Kozewski. Good pressure there from Danaskos. Suris quickly shut down. We saw him pop up with a goal, a winning goal, when we last featured St. George here at Barton Park. Round 13, the opening night. Spectacular occasion as they get forward. Casella it was, making the run. Added a lot, hasn't he, Jaden Casella? He's got himself 4 goals since making the move across from Sydney Olympic. What a moment for him late on last week, scoring that 3rd goal in injury time against his former club. He's just dropped into the number 9 role for now with Yelchan peeling out to the right, and that's where St. George go. Yelchan looking across for Poon. Here's Quilligan. Out to Yelchan. He's just drifted into an offside position. Our assistants for this one, Matt Harris on the near side. On the far side is Aaron Block. And our fourth official is Rory McFarlane, supporting the experienced Stephen Lucas, former A-League match official. His first time here at Barton Park, like everyone that turns up here. Very impressed with the facilities. Big international sized pitch. It is a real terrific spectacle. Turf pitch. As they come forward with Neon Kuru. He's managed to bag 5 so far for the season. Dropping deep, it is Shikluna, who was terrific in that match of the round we featured against the Sharks a fortnight ago. Here he is. Looking to switch it out now to this side. Brantman is the target. Play on is the call despite the protest. And Brantman forces the first good save. And it was Siren who got his body behind that. Good stop from the keeper. Brantman on that left foot is very much a danger whenever he can find a bit of room. He hasn't managed to bag too many this season. In fact, only the one. That wasn't too far away from opening the lead. So just confirming that scoreline from Seymour Shaw earlier on. The Sutherland Sharks remain on 26 points. Just outside the bottom two by virtue of goal difference after a 1-0 loss to St. George City, who solidify their position in the top 6. Looks like Mirko Yural's side will be playing finals football for the first time after making the jump up to the top tier in season 2023. Consolidating on the good work that they did last year in their first campaign. And looking to join them, their crosstown or their neighbouring rivals, St. George FC. They want to make sure they solidify top tier status, and a victory today would just about confirm that. It'll take them up to 32 points, and they've got an opportunity with Poon attacking that. Victory today would move them up to 32. Currently the Western Sydney Wanderers sitting on 32. They played earlier on this afternoon as well against Sydney Olympic. Sydney Olympic coming out with a comprehensive victory. 4-0 victory to the Olympic side over the Wanderers. Labano Halidi coaching against his former A-League club. And I can give you a progress score. We're in stoppage time over at Lambert Park. And RPR, after their terrific win midweek in the Waratah Cup, 3-0 victory for them over Rockdale Illendon, a massive victory on Wednesday night. They're going to back it up with a currently leading by 4-1 over Hills United. And that's not a good result for the beleaguered Hills United, who really needed the points today, sitting at the bottom of the ladder on 24. And it will all come down to the final week for them. And they'll hope that mathematically they're still in with a chance. But it will depend on the results, particularly Sydney FC's result on Monday night against Rockdale Illendon. So much still to play for with one round remaining after this, as Shikluna gets Menem driving forward down the left. Up against him is Casella, shakes him off. Can he get the delivery right? Looking for Duarte. Now Chen Yelchan. Couldn't quite get that one under control. Nice positive opening from both the sides, making sure that they're solid defensively, but trying to spread the play Steve Karavatakis, who's stepped in since round 23, taking over from Jane Talchevsky. As DeLima drops inside, it goes on the dribble. It's going to go out now. Nyonkuru back to Kuzevsky. Now Shikluna. Rocco Smith. Danaskos alert to that ball in behind. He was already on his bike, reading the play well. Stalwart of this, the Football New South Wales tiers. One of the longest survivors at St George FC. Player familiar across the top tier. Helped the Marconi Stallions back up to the top tier. (2018). Looking to make sure that St George keep their top flight status, but Brantman is proving a handful in the early stages. So 3 results to kick off round 29, and there's another game also taking place. Important one for the Marconi Stallions if they're to keep the pressure on Rockdale at the top of the competition. Currently coming into this penultimate round, 4 points behind Rockdale. They're up against Blacktown City. That's a traditional grudge match, that one. Always a testy, feisty affair. Keep you posted on progress from the Palace. It's currently 0-0 there. Same scoreline here. And you can see the breeze on that corner flag. The Mariners trying to use it. And they whip it into a dangerous area. Is that a free kick? Yes, it was. Smith on Yelchan. So 5 games on this Super Saturday, and then 2 to come tomorrow and 1 on Monday night to round out the round as Brunton gets this one across. Great opportunity at the back post. And it was DeLima. He couldn't quite wrap his left foot around that. Positive, more positive signs for Brunton. Peeling into the area pockets on the right-hand side. And he got his cross in across the face. And DeLima, St George, have to be very careful. His prolific goal-scoring form, so much confidence. The 17-year-old. He's really making a name for himself. Under pressure, and that's an unbelievable moment. You have to feel for Dylan Pariah-Cullen. It looked like it took a bobble just in front of the keeper, and there's not much he could do about it, but it's given the home side a dramatic lead. The back pass from Kuzevsky to Dylan Pariah-Cullen, and St George FC take the lead in this crucial 6-pointer near the bottom of the table. 3 points today could really seal their spot in season 2025, and the Central Coast Mariners have been rocked by a blunder, and you have to feel for the keeper. That one certainly looked like it took a bobble in front of him. Back in the starting 11 today. And that is such an unfortunate moment for the young custodian who hails from the nation's capital. They're under pressure here. Kuzevsky this time playing forward. Midway through the first half, and it's St George FC, courtesy of an own goal, who've taken the lead. Mariners will feel that they were getting on top. Brantman in particular was looking very dangerous. But this forward has peeled into the wide areas again. It's Yelchan. Was he upended? Referee says play on. Every time these two come together, Rocco Smith and Yelchan, it's a wonderful battle. Had some issues in that number 9 role. They couldn't quite find the quantity of goals in the early part of the season, all that connectivity. They've tried various options. Jesse Spang, their top scorer last year, had to make do with a spot on the bench. Connor Quilligan's been used there at various times. Peter Grozos, who's currently overseas, has also played across the forward line throughout the season. But Yelchan has certainly been working the house down in that lead role at the top of the formation. Here he is applying the press on Parker Williams. Delima couldn't make it stick. Quilligan equally. Duarte putting the pressure on. Suris does well. Nice bit of link-up play. We saw plenty of this from St. George. We featured them on 2 or 3 occasions already in Match of the Round throughout season 2024. They certainly do like to play some nice football. They were known as the past masters of the second tier. They played some delightful football last year to make their way up to the top flight. For the first time in over a decade. And they're certainly determined to make sure they stick around. Can give you an update from Marconi Stadium. It looks like Blacktown City have taken the lead there. We will confirm, but it looks like they've scored 2 quick goals midway through the opening half. I was talking about the difficulty for Marconi, who've gone on this amazing run. We saw them knock off Rockdale by the tune of 9-0 after beating Apia, and they went on this run. Well, they've won 9 of their last 10 matches. But Blacktown City, their grudge rivals, knowing that they need to win today. Marconi as Yelchan looks to get him behind this time. Williams, now he looks to square it across, and the referee was right on the spot. He had judged that Smith got to it ahead of Poon, and he got a piece of the ball. Important piece of defending from the young central defender. Yelchan proving a real handful, this time against Parker Williams. So Marconi, who trail Rockdale by 4 points, if they can't pick up anything today, the premiership will be confirmed as going to Rockdale, Illendon, their first official full season premiership. Irrespective of the result in the last 2 rounds, with that 4-point buffer over Marconi, I'll be sitting, no doubt, watching intently, keeping an eye on proceedings at Marconi Stadium. There's some ironic cheers. I felt that they haven't quite had the rub of the green so far, the home fans. And here's Harry Jones, just at the base of the midfield. This time, the flag up on that far side again. Colageru, the right back, just finding himself a little bit too high. Fortunate moment. If you're just joining us, Tony Tanous with you here, live on the Football New South Wales YouTube channel. Our second last match of the round, season 2024, before we head into the final series. And just to confirm the state of play, we will have a 6-team final series. 1 and 2 get the first round off in the finals. The teams that finish third to sixth will play off. We'll have elimination semi-finals in the opening round, 3 versus 6 and 4 versus 5. The higher ranked side to host. And then in the second round, as Yelchan gets forward, another impressive run down that right-hand side. In the second round, the teams that finish first and second will be the hosts. The team that finishes first, which is looking increasingly like Rockdale, they will host the lowest ranked winner from the opening round. And the second place team, currently Marconi, got a comfortable buffer over Apia. St. George look towards the back post. A great opportunity here. Quilligan with the climb. It's still on. Good opportunity that to make it 2-0. Poon pushes it out and it comes back in. That one's too close to the keeper as Thomas Brown was looking to attack that. As I was saying, the team that does finish second, Marconi, will play the highest ranked winner from the opening round. And those two preliminary finals in the second round, the winners from those two games will go into the grand final. So a 3-round final series. And of course, at the bottom of the ladder, the team that finishes at the foot of the table will be directly relegated automatically to the Football New South Wales League One. Neon Kuru's just switched sides with Delima. Here is Shikluna. Forward come St. George. They look lively in transition. Looking to hit Yelchan again. This time Menem stands up strong. And that's a heavy challenge from Quilligan on Menem. Been given a warning by Stephen Lucas. So we are past the half-hour mark. 1-0 if you're just joining us. The home side, St. George FC, the former St. George Budapest, the giants of the National Soccer League. Such a great era just down the road here at Banksia. The former St. George Stadium back in the 80s, producing many a great Socceroo. A great Socceroo coach as well. The likes of Frank Arok, Raleigh Rasic all doing their work here. Johnny Warren, of course, one of their greats. Doug Jutsenovic. Some of the great names of yesteryear that roll off the tongue. They're really looking to start a new era with this new ground. Been over at Rockdale for the majority, Rockdale Illington Sports Centre for the majority of the season. But next year this will be the permanent base. They've teased us with a couple of games here this season. That round 13 opener as Delima looks to get the cross in, and that was astute work out of the central midfield from Surus. Famous name, of course, his dad was a prodigious player as well. He's got the job on Niankuru at the near post. Again, that breeze is going to make it difficult for St. George. They whip it in towards the near post. In from Kuzewski. Here is Parker Williams. Like so many young central defenders, looks a model of composure when in possession. Really enjoyed his performance a couple of weeks ago against the Sutherland Sharks. He's one to keep an eye out on for sure. Here he is again, getting the ball from his central defensive partner. Williams looks over the top, a nice delivery. Mariners looking to let it run. Danaskos, who's had a great start to this match. It's been wonderful all season. That one's going to go over the Frank Arok stand where we're situated. into the car park. It is a wonderful facility. Credit to the Bayswater Council. They've really done an amazing job. The number of football fields, but there's also some tennis courts, some terrific equipment for the youngsters, some play equipment. Great facility for those in the Bayside Council area. St George delighted to become the main tenant. Their lease really trying to get Menham forward as often as possible. They know that the opportunities down that left-hand side to link up with DeLima is a real avenue for them. Both were outstanding against the Wollongong Wolves last week. Both among the 3-2-1 votes as well. That's Kuzewski now. Looks over the top for DeLima. A bit of space. He looks for Bruntman. And now Kuzewski taking it first time on that left foot. He's certainly got a terrific technical ability. Sasha Kuzewski, we've seen him already feature for the Central Coast Mariners A-League side. He's part of that squad as well that went up to Melbourne, lost to Heidelberg in the Australia Cup round of 32. So that does allow Lucas Valela to really focus on these two matches, make sure he's got as strong a squad as possible out there. So they look to survive in the top flight. They are a club that's shown, of course, that they can develop players even if they are in the second tier. And had so much success over the past few years in particular, bringing players through into the first team. No change to the score over at the Palace Marconi Stadium. It continues to be 2-0 in favour of the visitors, Blacktown City. And Marconi have to mount a comeback if they are to stay in the race. Their faint hopes of clinching a premiership. They're 4 points behind, but if they win today, they'll be 1 point behind and put a bit of pressure on Rockdale, who face Sydney FC on Monday night. It's going to be a goal kick. Referee keeping right up at the play. Not easy on this big pitch. Sydney FC, that's a massive game for them after their 5-1 victory over Apia in round 28. And the result over at Seymour Shore means that if Sydney can pick up a point, they will jump out of the bottom two with 1 round remaining. The Sharks next week will be up against St George FC. So that's a big game, depending on the result here for St George FC. They could go up to 32 points. They would be 6 points clear of the Sutherland Sharks. As Kuzewski does well to get forward. Jones getting across to help out Danaskos. Good work from the central midfielder. This time it's going to be the right foot of Kuzewski. He's got Rocco Smith come forward. Parker Williams also in there. Williams has been among the scorers this season, not yet so for Rocco Smith. They try the variation, looking for that volley from Bruntman outside the box. And it might give St. George the opportunity to go quickly into counter-attack. Casella was shut down by Smith. He's done some good work in this opening half. Out now to DeLima. In his first year at the academy, what a spectacular debut season it's been as Bruntman got that shot on target. Comfortable for Mackenzie Siren. DeLima, who joined the Mariners 20 squad. But so impressive was he that he soon got the opportunity to step up into first grade. He just wanted to turn up and play his best, and his best has been good enough to push him into the train-on squad with the A-Leagues as well. And he's hoping that season 2024 might be the opportunity for him if he can keep up his good form. 8 goals for the campaign, 6 in the last 6 weeks. That was good work from Pat O'Shea, just getting across. Such an experienced presence, a real famous name. His dad, of course, and his uncle both played for this famous club. Out now through Jones. Kalajiru. We are in the final 5 minutes of this first half. It's been a terrific spectacle. Both teams love to get it down and play. Not too many clear-cut opportunities. And the goal, a real unfortunate one for the visitors, the Mariners. Ball taking a horrible bubble in front of the keeper as Kosetsky looked for the back pass. I'll hope that they can bounce back before the break as Kosetsky looks inside. Danaskos again with the block. Another good idea this time, and the keeper, Siren, did extremely well. Brave goalkeeping as Duarte put himself in there. Trying to get on that ball from Kosetsky. Siren came to it, attacked it. Just repeating the scores from around the grounds earlier. St. George City 1. Sutherland Sharks 0 over at Seymour Shore. Sydney Olympic 4. Western Sydney Wanderers 1. And that was the same scoreline at Lambert Park. Apia Leichhardt 4. Hills United 1, which keeps Hills United on 24 points. Out now, down this near side. Kosetsky it is. Smith's available. Shikluna, the deeper of the two central midfielders. Small just playing a little bit more advanced of him. Parker Williams. That one just a little bit too heavy. Gone down that left side with Menem regularly throughout the opening half. Now they might have a bit of work to do as Yelchan, he hasn't seen too much of the possession in the last 10 or so minutes. Can St. George double their lead? They've got it down to Poon. He was looking for Casella. Casella picks up the loose ball, looks to get it onto his left foot. And he looked to link it up in the end with Poon. A little bit too much on that. They've been happy to sit back. They've scored the opening goal. They've been happy to drop off. Steve Karavitakis will be pleased with the defensive work in the first period. They've limited this young attacking Central Coast Mariners side in the main. Kosetsky looking for some link-up play. Neon Kuru's back out on this near side. Now Parker Williams. Again, he goes for the diagonal ball. Danaskos didn't hesitate, showing all his experience once again. Although his pass into the midfield didn't quite connect, but he was relieved to see the referee give him the free kick. Just a little bit too aggressive from Kazewski. Hope you're enjoying this wherever you're watching. Tony Tanous with you as we approach stoppages here at Barton Park. Such a thrilling NPL men's season. Can confirm as well the halftime score over at Popondetta in the top of the table clash. 0-0 between the Mount Druitt Town Rangers and Bulls Academy. That one, an important one as far as the promotion to the top flight's concerned. Mount Druitt looking to hit back immediately. Bounce back directly to the top tier. And the Bulls, who also got relegated last season. They need to grab at least a point to keep things alive for the final round. They'll be hoping for the 3 points, which will level things up with 1 round remaining. They've got a superior goal difference at the moment on Mount Druitt. But here at Barton Park, it is the home side, St. George FC, who take the lead into the break. The goal coming midway through the first half, an unfortunate one for the visitors, the Central Coast Mariners. A back pass, fortunately bobbling in front of the keeper and going all the way into the back of the net. This crucial 6-pointer near the bottom of the ladder. It is the home side, St. George FC, who take a 1-0 lead into the halftime break. We'll be back with all the second half action. Make sure you stick around on the Football New South Wales YouTube channel. George City v Sharks, yeah. Are you watching that first half now? You are? Yeah, can I see it? Can you rewind it for me? Yeah, I was just gonna do that. Oh, Joe, come and have a look at this. Come and have a look. Just quickly, watch this. For your report, you probably want to write this up. Massive. Watch yourself. Massive. Yeah.
It's not like the turf from England or anything.
Nah. It's a brand new service. Yeah.
I know. struggled through it. First game of the season.
I don't know why we get the first game.
It's not a bad season. Easily on it now.
Didn't have the handle on it. Pretty good.
I think Cameron might have just replaced that. Might have had something similar.
Yeah.
A big play. And I actually used that as my table. I need, just in case, I need that handle, you know, like
Now it's perfect.
yeah, this is unbelievable.
A lot of those facilities at Sydney Uni.
Oh, yeah.
Have you done the games from there?
Yeah, I haven't played, but I've watched
It's all girls.
I've watched it, yeah.
Oh, mate. It's so cool.
In the grandstand, and the ability to sort of sit at the back of the grandstand.
It's the best. So
Good.
The pitch can be a bit rubbish. See how it gets like how far?
Now it's all yellow.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it gets towards the end of the season. I've been there a couple of times.
Any rain, it's cancelled.
Any rain?
Any rain, and it's cancelled. Yeah.
What I do, I make sure I'm 100%. Leave the house because I need it, but I never know if I've got power. There is power here.
Yeah, there is that.
Because I could get mad. I would charge it.
That, I'll leave that out. I'm not neutral on that one.
Give it to Poon. Give the goal to Poon.
Or you can plug it up.
Oh, whenever. Yeah, whenever you're ready. There's still a few people on the field, aren't there? And it's a welcome back to Barton Park, this round 29 NPL Men's New South Wales match of the round. If you're just joining us, it is the home side, St George FC, currently leading the Central Coast Mariners by 1-0. And that goal courtesy of a really unfortunate moment for the Mariners. Just watching the replay of the goal, it took an almighty bubble in front of the keeper. It looked like it might have been the penalty spot or somewhere around there where did Dylan Perret Cullen no favours at all, that bounce. You have to feel sorry for the young keeper. Duarte's just gone down in the back play. We'll keep an eye on the ball. The referee, he's going to blow his whistle because there is a head injury to Duarte. And there's a bit of arguments here from the Central Coast Mariners players that there might have been something off the ball, untoward. Just going to make sure and check up on the well-being of the Central Coast Mariners striker. Central Coast Mariners feeling aggrieved so far in this one. That moment on 24 minutes, which separates the two sides, and they're surrounding the keeper, arguing that there might have been something in the back play. Surrounding the referee, rather, in Stephen Lucas. First and foremost, just checking on Duarte's well-being. He's just getting back up on his feet. He is being ushered to the sideline. I'll just check up on him, make sure that he's good to return to the pitch. It will be a bounce ball. The Mariners in possession on this near side. It's Arthur De Lima. He was in possession. Duarte being allowed back on. Early in this second half, as the Mariners come forward, and it's Duarte again this time. The referee's going to be left with no choice. Pat O'Shea, the player that goes into the book. Duarte, having just got back up on his feet, made the run down the right-hand side, and his progress was quickly halted. It's been played in a good spirit so far, but a couple of moments early in this second period, and the Mariners now have a set piece as they look to hit back. They've sent Rocco Smith forward. They've got De Lima in there. Parker Williams. Probably the tallest of the options. He looks like he's being marked by Thomas Brown. Duarte's also picked himself up and got himself in there. Looks like they have made a change. I will confirm that. Headley's also on. Tay Headley, one of the Mariners' substitutions. They're going to have a corner. Chance to keep the pressure on. So Tay Headley, keep an eye out on him. He's in the number 10 jersey. Just in there. Shikluna's on the edge of the box. Smalls also an option outside the box. They go short and they look for the variation. The two holding midfielders are there. First Shikluna, now Small. They look for the square ball. De Lima trying to get it forward. Headley was the player chasing. We'll have a look to see who Headley has replaced at the half-time. It looks like it is Nyonkuru. So Headley out on that right-hand side. And Donny Nyonkuru, the player that made way at half-time. Take you through the rest of the benches for the two sides. Starting with the Mariners, their reserve keeper is the youngster in Daniel Vickers. Daniel, who had another big game earlier on today. He's under 20s, winning by 5 goals to nil over St. George FC to stay atop the ladder. So big win for the Central Coast Mariners 20s. But also he had a big school game for Central Coast Grammar earlier on, Daniel. They won their semi-final today by 10 goals to 1. Central Coast Grammar in the ISA competition, so they'll be up against Oak Hill College next weekend in the grand final of the ISA competition at the home of football, New South Wales Valentine Sports Park. So that's going to be a terrific match. So a couple of big games coming up for the reserve keeper for the Mariners in Daniel Vickers. The rest of their bench, Deng, Hayne Eames, Jai Rose and Yanni Nassis. That's the Central Coast Mariners bench. As for the home side, Steve Karavatakis can call on the following. Daniel Axford is the reserve keeper. As the Mariners come forward looking for Duarte. Now it's DeLima. He's been kept quiet so far. Headley looking to make a real injection off the bench. Now he looks for the link up with Brantman. Can he get it on the left foot? Back to Shikluna. And he took the first time shooting opportunity. Just back to that St. George bench. Daniel Axford's the reserve keeper. The experienced Anthony Morabito, what a stalwart, what a legend of the St. George FC club he's been. Over 150 games now. He's seen the ups and downs, and he's hoping to be able to make an impact later on, perhaps off the bench. Jesse Spang is another attacking option. They've also got Sebastian Ceracito, as Yelchan can't quite make it stick with Casella. They've also got Yakov. Referee thought about blowing the whistle. He had it in his mouth, but he's given St. George some advantage. Is he going to come back and speak to the player involved there? So it is going to be a St. George free kick, and it is going to be Harry Jones. He's waiting for Pat O'Shea and Thomas Brown to make their way forward. Yelchan's available at the back post as well. This one's fizzed in. Brown was trying to get him behind. Just wrapping up that bench for St. George FC. Yakov Malbasa also available, as is Dylan Bozicevic. Another appeal there, this time from the Central Coast Mariners. They thought that it was a deliberate stoppage using the arm. They wanted more than just a free kick. Around the grounds, no change to the scoreline yet over at Marconi Stadium. Blacktown City continue to lead by 2 goals to 0. And if there's no change to that scoreline or result, if Marconi can't pick up a point, then it will be signed, sealed and delivered as far as Rockdale Illingdon are concerned. They missed out on the trophy on Wednesday night, but 3 days later they might be picking up their first trophy in a long while. They, of course, did win the premiership in season 2020. It was an abbreviated NPL season during COVID. And this one will be all the more sweeter, a 30-round season. They have led the competition for pretty much its entirety. Up here with the team challenging early. Marconi have thrown the gauntlet down late. but Rockdale have set the tempo throughout. And unless there's a change, then it will be signed, sealed. Appeals there against St. George for a handball, but the referee was again right on the spot, Stephen Lucas, and he pointed to his chest. Yelchan just holding it up, but Parker Williams doing well. Forward it goes to Yelchan. Again, he's looking to take on Williams, and that battle between Yelchan and the two central defenders has been one of the real standout battles across the pitch. Always physical, really trying to use his body well. 21-year-old. Looks like an exciting addition to the NPL New South Wales. Often isolated in the St. George FC formation, but they'll be hoping they can go forward into transition and get Casella and Poon. Joining him as the referee's just going to bring the two skippers. The left back for St. George in Danaskos, the right back for the Mariners in Kazeski. Just going to have a chat, saying there's a bit too much niggle going on. Let's get back to the football. So much at stake. These two sides who came into this, St. George in 12th spot. Central Coast Mariners 1 point behind in 13th. And as things stand, the Mariners will be on 28, the live ladder. They'll be 2 ahead of the Sharks heading into the final round. And the Mariners will be up against Rockdale next week. They could be going there, if they can't pick up anything here in the second half, they could be going there needing a result. Still so much to play for this season. Sharks will be home against St. George, who come forward this time. And the keeper, Parai Cullen, was off his line quick. Out on that side is Kazeski. Here's Headley. Free kick against St. George. Does give me a chance to tell you about another important game tomorrow. Sydney United, they're at home. They're currently sitting in the top 6. They're up against Manly United. Always an interesting affair when those two sides meet. There have been some big upsets from Manly over the years. And that's going to be a yellow card. Harry Jones kicking the ball away. He joins Pat O'Shea in referee Stephen Lucas's book as the Mariners go to the bench. And it is Nicholas Duarte who comes off. In fact, it's Lucas Shakluna, the player that makes way. Coming on. Here's the number 12 in Hayne Eames. Brantman. So we'll see if Eames drops straight into that central midfield slot that Shakluna was occupying. Nice little flick. They get it out to Headley. Siren. He's been good whenever he's been called on so far. I'll be hoping that they can keep a clean sheet, certainly since Steve Karavatakis took the reins. Defensively, they have improved. I mentioned those couple of positional changes. They're missing Mark Rodic. The experienced Mark Rodic is currently out serving a suspension. Trademark accumulation of 8 yellow cards over the season. It's become his stock in trade. They're missing him at the moment, but they'll be welcoming him back next week. And they'll be hoping that they can seal their spot in the top tier for season 2025. One of their top defenders will be a key fixture if they can seal the deal. Out now on the left-hand side. They duck inside. And it's Poon! And it's Yelchan who's finally got his opening goal for St. George FC. A much-deserved goal. And what about the celebration? Sean Yelchan, if you don't mind. Their new acquisition from the WA NPL is making a name for himself today in this round 29 NPL match of the round. Remember the name, Sean Yelchan. He gets his reward with Poon taking the strike from outside the box. And the home crowd here have gone up to celebrate what is fast becoming one of their favourite sons. Sean Yelchan with the goal. Just what they were hoping for. They got the win here at Barton Park when they played Olympic. And here is Yelchan going forward again, causing a real headache. He's got his reward. As I was saying in the first half, speaking to Steve Karavatakis, he felt that it wasn't too far away. A striker who's certainly made an impression since he joined St. George. What about the celebration? Seen that across the A-League in recent years. Two-goal lead now for the home side. Job ahead of them, the Mariners. They've had a terrific run of late. As I said, the past 6, 4 wins. They've come against Apia by 3-2. Sydney Olympic 1-0. They've also beaten the Sharks and the Wollongong Wolves over the past 2 weeks. And if you look back to when fortune started to turn for them, you have to go back to round 19. That thumping 5-3 victory. Their season was really on the line against the Western Sydney Wanderers. Over at the Wanderers Academy, they came away with a 5-3 victory, and it's really turned things around for them. 11 games since then. They've won 6 of those, drawn 2, and only lost 3. So it's been a great few months for the Central Coast Mariners, but this one currently trailing by 2-0. And things might come down to the final week for them when they will be away to Rockdale Illendon next Sunday afternoon. Depending on the status of Rockdale, of course, Rockdale will be keen to keep their run at home going. They've won 10 of their past 11 at home. Rockdale Illendon suffering that first draw for them. The first points they've dropped since round 3 at home. That 1-1 draw against Sutherland Sharks last weekend. Headley comes forward down the right-hand side, held up by Danaskos yet again. He has been terrific, the skipper, and look at him trying to rebound now. Eames gets across just to slow him down. And Yelchan looks for the combination play, and now he goes on the dribble. And excitement every time he touches the ball. The St. George FC striker. Difficult customer to deal with. Mentioned no Mark Rodich at the moment for St. George. They're also currently missing Jaden Cito out with injury. Peter Grozos is overseas. So still missing a couple of key players from their squad. They've done a terrific job just in the past month, and they're looking to inflict more damage. Casella has certainly made an impact since he's made the move from Olympic. 4 goals for him. That's a nice touch from Headley. Now Duarte. Headley drops inside. Duarte looks for the switch out to Kazeski. Good first touch. Bruntman couldn't quite get it back in his path. Now Souris. Can St. George trigger a counter-attack of their own through Yelchan? Confidence up after hitting the back of the net for the first time in the NPL New South Wales. Look at him go. On the dribble, and now inside, Yelchan! Oh, it would have been another spectacular goal, only to be denied by a great save. Pereira Cullen. That was a wonderful dribble from the attacker, who's certainly got the confidence up. And he wasn't too far away from making it 3-0 and 2 for himself. Again, they look for the switch. Poon, who's been in good scoring form himself, took the shot on, the confidence of hitting the back of the net a couple of times in recent weeks. He's got 2 goals in the past 2 wins for St. George. So 2 in 3 coming into this round 29 clash. Poon. Might be one of their most famous victories in recent time. They had that big success, of course, in the playoffs last year against the Mount Druitt Town Rangers. Bit of victory here at Barton Park will be one that they will cherish, because it will move them up to 32 with the Sharks on 26. That 6-point gap will confirm their position in the top tier in season 2025. Over the top it goes. The flag this time goes up against the Mariners. We've seen St. George offside on a couple of occasions as gyros is going to be introduced. There's going to be Bailey Bruntman, so the youngster who made an impression coming off the bench against Sutherland at Seymour Shore a fortnight ago, earning that penalty. Can he spark things up and get the Mariners into the game as Quilligan also goes down? And he's going to get some treatment. It does give us a chance just to go around the grounds and confirm or update the scores. It continues to be 2-0 in the favour of Blacktown City over at the Palace. And if you're just joining us, that is a result that will confirm the premiership for Rockdale Illendon. They'll be sitting back watching all the action. And after the disappointment of Wednesday night, things can certainly turn quick in football. And if the result result goes their way, they will be crowned the 2024 NPL Men's New South Wales Premiers. Adding some silverware after making the step up to the top tier in 2010. Their first major trophy since 2020, but their only championship, which came in 1984. And they'll be looking to go into the finals and add another piece of silverware. Quilligan just about to come back onto the pitch. He's got some treatment. Might have heard over the PA announcement, Morabito, the player with over 150 games for this club, has come on for the man who got the assist for the second goal in Justin Poon. So that'll be a like-for-like swap over on that left-hand side. Look out for the explosive number 11, Anthony Morabito. St. George with a 2-0 lead into the final 20 minutes. There might be a chance to extend it here with Morabito looking to make an impact immediately off the bench. Calageru saw the run there from Quilligan. Been more happy to sit in that right back position. Hasn't been too advanced. Calageru has allowed Danaskos to get forward on the left-hand side. So the other game tomorrow, Wollongong Wolves, they're going to be at home. They've slipped outside the 6 with a couple of losses back-to-back. They're at home against Spirit FC, who've gone on a decent run of form, not only making the round of 16 in the Australia Cup, picking up a couple of results to give them safety. Another team that's recently made the step up to the top tier. Really just trying to build season on season under the tutelage of David Perkovic. Battle of the two Davids tomorrow up against David Carney. That's also at 3 p.m. like the match at King Tom, Sydney United versus Manly United. And then on Monday night, 7:45 p.m. kickoff, Sydney FC. They're the home side, but the match is at Rockdale Illingdon Sports Centre. They are taking on Rockdale Illingdon. That match pushed back. It was initially scheduled for last night, but with the Waratah Cup final on Wednesday night. Player welfare, of course, central to that decision to move it to Monday. Sydney FC, a massive game for them. Currently on 26, a chance to go to 29. Leapfrog the Sutherland Sharks with 1 round remaining. And also leapfrog Central Coast if the Central Coast can't mount a comeback in this one. Central Coast on 28. Victory to Sydney FC could take them up to 29. Sharks currently on 27. Hills on 24. Here's Yelchan. Out now through O'Shea. Mariners trying to press here. Gyros on this near side. This is good build-up play from the home side. Using the width, using the space on this vast expanses at Barton Park. Stringing the passes. How many have they strung from one side to the other? Lovely team play. Can they create something on the end of it? Morabito's in! And it's a great opportunity in the end. Casella denied by Parade Cullen, but what about the play from St. George FC? Terrific bit of football. Strung the passes well into double figures. And they managed to get Morabito into the box. And Casella was the player in the end, denied. Great action from the home side. We are going to see them go to their bench again. And it will be Jesse Spang who comes on. Making way is Connor Quilligan. We saw him go down not too long ago, but his day is done. Good shift from Quilligan. And Spang comes on and goes into one of those wide rolls on the near side. Spang. Eames out to the Headley. In fact, it was Kazewski finding Headley now. Clearance comes from O'Shea. Ames. Again, it's that combination. Kazewski looking to link with Headley. Can the Mariners get themselves back into this? Still plenty of time. Nice header down from Rose, and there was O'Shea, alert to his defensive task yet again. The stalwart for St. George FC, and that was too aggressive. He's going to go straight into the book and being given a yellow card for that climb, which referee Stephen Lucas adjudged involved the use of an elbow. Maybe using his elbow in the back on the experienced Harry Jones. Can understand the desperation to get the ball forward. It's a result which, if it stands, will leave them in that current position. 13th spot, 2 spots outside. 15th, that spot will go into a playoff, of course, against the team that finishes second in football, New South Wales League One. St. George come forward now through Spang, the fresh man. Was among the goals in football, New South Wales League One last year. Jesse Spang looking to make an impact is Casella. And there was Parade Cullen. No change to the score over at Popondetta. Mount Druitt Town Rangers, Bulls Academy currently locked at 0-0. So that could come down to the final week. If the result remains as it is, they'll be separated by 3 points. MacArthur ahead of them on goal difference. That would take the Mount Druitt Town Rangers losing to bottom place Dunbar Rovers. But stranger things have happened, and you just never know. Keep you posted on the progress of the score there. So that one does have a bearing on how season 2025 will look in the NPL Men's New South Wales. Eames. Kazewski. Going to be too much on that again. Arthur DeLima's dropped into the attacking two. Started on the left-hand side, but he's moved up alongside Duarte. With Gyros on the left-hand side, Headley on the right. And Small and Eames are the two holding midfielders. Hasn't quite worked for Lucas Vailela's youngsters so far here at Barton Park. We've got a goal over at the Palace. The Marconi Stallions have got one back in the 74th minute. You just never know. Twists and turns of the NPL Men's New South Wales. Rockdale will be hoping that Blacktown can hang on for the victory. But we might still be alive as far as the premiership's concerned at close of play if Marconi can bounce back, find an equaliser, perhaps even a winner. How often do we see it in the NPL? New South Wales. Drama, as always, drama aplenty. Been really progressive down that right-hand side in this second period, have the Mariners. Really trying to use Headley and Kasevsky, but Yelchan, who's done so well again, this time he's been stopped by the youngster in Smith, and the referee's been left with no choice. Yelchan, who's been asking question after question of the two young central defenders, has drawn Smith into a professional foul. And Smith will go to an early shower. And the Mariners will have to play out the remaining 8 or 9 minutes with 10 men. It's been a ding-dong battle between Yelchan and the central defenders, Smith and Parker Williams. And the youngster, this is one he'll certainly learn from. Frustration continues for the young Mariners side. They're going to have to see it out with 10. In comes the free kick. Great opportunity. Good climb it was from the central defender in Thomas Brown. He looks a presence at the set pieces. Just confirming the scoreline at Marconi Stadium. 78 minutes in. Blacktown City 2, Marconi 1. Marconi starting the round 4 behind Rockdale. So they know that they need to pick up points. Preferably the 3. As the ball's spat out now from Duarte. Out to Headley. He can look to go on the dribble. Eames gets it across. Now joining the attack is Williams. Rose is also ducked inside and he's done well to win a free kick. Foul coming from Souris. Evan Souris, and the referee's just having to separate the players. A bit of frustration from Nico Duarte. They felt that that foul was a bit too aggressive on Joy Rose. Thanks for your company wherever you're watching. Tony Tanous with you. We are in the final 10 minutes here at Barton Park. This round 29 NPL Men's New South Wales match of the round. Can the Mariners make a game of it late on? They've got a set piece. They've struggled to really create in open play. The St. George FC defence has been resolute and strong. But Headley looks the favoured player to take this one. Up he steps to number 10. Headley! What an effort it was! Rattles the crossbar, unlucky for Tay Headley. A terrific free kick effort. That was delightful. So unlucky at the end where they haven't had any luck this evening. The end where they conceded that bobble goal. And if you haven't seen it, it was some bobble. You have to feel for the Mariners to concede the opener like that, and particularly their keeper in Pariah Cullen. Hard to really fault. And there's another piece where they just haven't had the luck. Some might look back to the match of the round a couple of weeks ago against the Sutherland Sharks, where maybe the luck did go their way in stoppage time. They got the penalty. That gave them a crucial 3 points, and that 3 points could still be absolutely key as we look ahead to the final round of the season. And they will enter that final round outside the bottom two, if the result stays as it is. Well, that's, of course, Sydney FC, who are in action tomorrow. Sydney FC on 26 points could leapfrog the Mariners if they beat Rockdale on Monday. So still so much to play for in this round 29. And then next week, the Mariners away to Rockdale and St. George FC. If they can hang on to the 3 points here, they'll go to 32. They will feel the job is done. They're trying to encourage each other. Pat O'Shea back on the pitch. He was the player that was getting some treatment a moment or two ago. Here is Jones, looking to slide it into Yelchan. He goes quickly into attack, and he looked across for Spang. It was terrific forward play. The two attackers looking for that quick combination. Yelchan again with that first touch in behind. So direct and positive. .32 points would leave them 4 ahead of the Mariners. 8 ahead of Hills United. But it all comes down to Sydney FC. Sydney FC's match on Monday. Victory for them could take them up to 29. St. George could still enter the final round needing something. Sharks, we know they need something. They're currently on 26. Ahead of Sydney FC by virtue of goal difference. So all so tight, all so much still to play for. The bottom team will go automatically down. The team that finishes second from bottom will play off over 2 legs, just as St. George FC did last season. We'll just give you an update from Popendetta. A couple of minutes of regular time remaining as one of the subs for the Mariners in Cherding gets his first involvement. Might get another one. Central defender with Rocco Smith seeing red. Cherding's come on just to try and shore things up at the back, and he's got more defending to do there as Morabito came in. So Popendetta, no score in the last couple of minutes of regular time between the Mount Druitt Town Rangers and MacArthur Bulls Academy. We are going to see another substitution here for St. George. And it is going to be a big round of applause for Chan Yelchan. Yelchan has scored himself his first goal for St. George FC. And also Pat O'Shea's the other player that makes way. We'll just check on the two players who have come on. It looks like Sebastian Cerecido is one of those. And the other one making his debut. Congratulations goes to the man who just got ahead of there in Dylan Bozicevic, making his debut for St. George FC. He drops into the number 6 role. Sebastian Cerecedo wearing the 16 jersey. He'll be in a more advanced midfield role. So 2 freshmen in the middle of the park. And here's Morabito. Is he going to try his luck? He spots the keeper off his line. His eyes lit up. They've already caught the keeper out with one unfortunate moment. Not on that occasion. Not long to go now for the home side. This will be a massive 3 points in their quest to survive in the top flight. Stephen Lucas just looking at his watch. Is the job done for St. George FC? Danaskos, who's been rock solid throughout, finds another of the St. George legends in Morabito. We are into stoppages. No change at the Palace. Marconi trail Blacktown City by 2-1. Make sure you jump on NPL New South Wales for all the updates and all the news and views from around the grounds. Match reports, highlights, all the action. As Rose is under pressure. Williams being pressed by Jesse Spang. Giving away the free kick. Mariners take it quickly. They trail by 2-0. Things have been going smoothly for them in recent weeks. But this just keeps things tight ahead of the final round against the Rockdale side as the keeper in Mackenzie Siren got to that ahead of Duarte. Keeping his concentration all the way through to the end. Can't be too long to go now. Stephen Lucas has another look at his watch. As St. George roll it down the line. Spang just happy to keep possession. Forward it goes from Brown. The flick on comes from Cerecedo. And suddenly St. George are in behind. Morabito. And there was Parade Cullen. He's done well to recover from that disappointment of the first half. Not much he could do with the second goal. St. George happy to try and keep some possession. And now they look to press. Make it difficult for the Mariners to come out. Anywhere will do for St. George FC. Is there any time for the Mariners to try and get one back and make a late game of it? Again, he looks at his watch, Stephen Lucas. And the crowd here at Barton Park anticipating the final whistle. It's been a terrific crowd, a great occasion. Only the second time St. George at their new home. And they want to make sure that in 2025, the action will be in the top flight. And they've got a chance now through Cerecedo. Cerecedo was quickly shut down by Small, though. And now Parker Williams. Duarte's available on this near side. He goes instead to Eames. We have had a few stoppages in the second period. This much anticipated round 29, match of the round, and there was Eames driving out of midfield. Couldn't quite get on the end of a delightful ball from Duarte. They're going right to the end, the youngsters from Central Coast. And here is Small. Is he going to try his luck from a long way out? Block comes from Brown. And that is it. St. George FC. They knew that a win today could have a big bearing on status in season 2025. And they're back at Barton Park and back with a big win over the Central Coast Mariners. A goal in each half. The first, an unfortunate one, conceded by the Central Coast Mariners. The second from Chan Yelchan. And that certainly will grab some headlines. His first goal for St. George FC. It's been a big performance from Steve Karavatakis' men. They've gone on a terrific run. 3 wins now from their last 4 matches. And that sees them move up to 32 points. And as things stand, they're looking secure in season 2025. Their status in the top flight. It won't be an immediate bounce back to the second tier. They've done the business here. They will go to the Sharks next week. Depending on how Sydney FC goes on Monday night. It might still be a little bit of work, but they know that they've done a big job today. They've produced the goods. And the Central Coast Mariners, on the other hand, they live to fight next week. A big game for them on the road against Rockdale Illingdon. They know that they've got a job to do to prepare for that one. There's still so much to play for in the NPL Men's New South Wales. It's been a pleasure having your company here from Barton Park. Tony Tanous wrapping up an important, a massive win for historic St. George FC. 2-0 over the Central Coast Mariners.
Mate, go that way. There's a gate over there just on the other side of the road. I might grab them off you, mate. Oh yes, you can. And I'll head down. Oh, I've just got to head down and do an interview. Yep. Good. Daniel, see you next week. You got a shout out. You got a shout out. The Central Coast Drama got a shout out. Oak Hill.